Hey, hi friends, this is Bakappa. In this EasyRepro Automation Framework tutorial, I will discuss about how to handle lookup field, and second topic is how to work with the tabs, and third topic is how to select the value from the drop-down list. So let us move on to the application. So this is our application, CRM application, that is Microsoft Dynamics 365 CRM application. I logged in already, and I have selected the customer service hub. So here I'll go to this accounts tab, then I will click on new, and firstly we will discuss about how to work with the lookup fields. Then we will discuss how to switch between these tabs. Then finally we will discuss about how to handle the drop down values. So let us move on to the very first topic, that is how to handle lookup field. So in the summary tab we have multiple fields. So here we are having account name, text box, and we have another text box of phone number. So there are many other fields as well. If I go down, so there are two fields. First one is primary contact and the second one is parent account. So if I click on this one, so it's a lookup field, guys. So if I start entering something, so it will start prompting me the list of values. From list of values, I have to select one of the value. So what we have to do is we have to write the code like similar to the text box. So in the case of handling text box, we have identified this particular phone number field and we have entered the value. So in the similar way, we have to start entering the value in this particular field, that's a primary contact. Let's say Alex. Then it is giving me the list of values. After entering the value, so we have to enter the Alex Baker as a value. After that, we have to select from the drop down. We have to select the value from the list, right? So this is the action we have to perform. So what we will do, let's go to our Visual Studio now, and I will create the copy of create account class. I'll rename this class with the EasyRepro Tutorial. So similarly, I'll come to inside the class. I'll open the same class again. I will rename this class name as EasyRepro Tutorial. So that's it. So we have already discussed how to log in into the application, then how to select the particular CRM application, then how to go to the different entities. So right now we are going to the accounts entity, then we are clicking on the new. So till this code is same, so almost we can use this whole code, right? So these are the two things we have discussed in the last tutorial of EasyRepro Automation Framework tutorial. Sorry. So we have discussed how to handle the text box. So similarly, what we will do. So firstly, we have to enter the value in this particular text box, then we have to select it. So I'll copy the same code again, and I will. So first we have to identify the field for this text box, that is a primary contact. I will right click on this one. I'll go to the inspect. So as of now, I will remove this one and I'll inspect this particular text box firstly. Okay guys, so this is a field, so it is highlighting the whole primary contact and as well as the text box. So what we have to mention, we have to mention just this particular value, that is a primary contact ID. So I'll copy this one, I'll paste it here. So we have identified this particular text box and we have to specify the value. So in our case, what I'm specifying is Alex Baker. That's it. So after identifying the field, so we are entering this value. So next thing is, after entering the value, we have to select the value from the list. So EasyRepro Automation Framework gives itself an option to select the value from the list. So you can achieve by calling to the method called open record. So XRM app dot, there is an object of lookup, then I'm calling to the one method called open record. So this will accept the index. So you need to pass the index. For example, in my case, I'm specifying it as a 0 because I wanted to select the very first element from this particular list. If I type just AL, it is returning me the 3 values. If I wanted to select this value, so you can specify the 0. If you want to select this particular value, you can specify it as a 1. But in my case, I'm just entering whole value, then it is displaying only one record. So to select this particular record, I'm specifying it as a 0, right? So this is how you can handle your any of the lookup field. So now let us move on to the next scenario, that is how to handle the tabs. I mean how to switch between the tabs. So EasyRepro Automation Framework gives an opportunity to use the existing methods itself. So what you need to do, call to this, use the XRM object, XRM app object dot. Here you can say entity. After entity, you can say just select tab. So this particular select tab is accepting the string type of value, right? So select this particular method and specify the value. So in our case, so by default, when I navigate to accounts entity, so it is displaying the values inside the summary tab. So if I need to switch to this particular details tab, so you need to specify the visible text here. So I wanted to switch to the details tab, right? So I will simply specify this particular value inside the select tab method. So that's it. So this is how you can move between the different tabs, right? So that's it, guys. So we have the third scenario for handling the drop-down list. So after coming into the details tab, so here we are having different drop-down list. So in our case, what we will do, in the ownership field, we are having multiple values. That means the ownership drop-down has multiple values. So we have to identify this particular drop-down, and after that we have to select the one of the value from this list. So what we will do, so already we have used the set value method. So this particular set value method, it is an overloaded method, guys. If I select this particular method set value xrm app dot entity dot set value, and here you can see that +7 overloads. That means it's a overloaded method. It is capable of receiving any type of value. So it can be string, or it can be the date value, or it can be the option set object. So in our case, whenever we are dealing with the drop-down list, so we have to create the object of option set. We have to pass to the set value method. So here I'm using xrm object dot entity. Then here I'm saying set value again. So inside the set value, you need to pass the object of option set. So this option set contains two fields. One is name and second one is value. So name is nothing but the field, and value is nothing but which value you wanted to select from the drop down. So first you need to specify the name. That means you need to identify the drop down field. So let's say, so we'll add the value later. So now next is value. So we have to pass the which value you wanted to select from the drop down list. So this is the object we have to pass to the set value if you want to select the any value from the drop down list. So let us identify the drop down field. So similarly, how we have identified text box. Similarly, we have to identify the ownership field. So right click on this object. Let me inspect ownership. I'll go up. So if you see here, so it is highlighting the whole field, including the ownership field name and as well as the drop down. So what you need to do is simply you need to take the value, that is the ownership code, copy this particular value, come to here and pass on to the name. And you might be having a question now how we have to pass the value. It is very easy. So go to the drop down. Now you inspect the drop down list. So it has a select tag. Come inside the select tag. So here you are seeing the multiple option as a tag names, right? Every value is having the one option tag. So inside the option tag, we are having a ID attribute and value attribute. So in our case, we wanted to select public as a value. And if you go inside, if you see the inside this option tag, so you need to refer to the value attribute and you need to pass this whatever the value is there inside the value attribute. So if I have to select the public value from the drop down, you need to pass the 1. And similarly, if you want to select the private, you need to pass the value as 2 and so on. So let us select the public. So we have to pass the 1 as the value. Let us go to the framework now. Here pass the value as 1. That's it, guys. So we have seen how to handle lookup field, and then how to switch between the different tabs, and finally I have discussed how to handle the drop-down values. So in the Selenium, so in the Java or in different languages, we will be using thread or sleep for waiting for some time, right? So similarly, in EasyRepro Automation Framework also supports for thread.sleep in a different way. So you need to specify the think time. So this will accept the value in the format of milliseconds. So let us say 4000. 4000 milliseconds is equal to 4 seconds, right? So why I'm specifying this particular think time is, so after executing all this, it will wait for some time so that we can see the execution properly. So that's it, guys. So we are done with creating the simple test script which will interact with the text box, lookup field, and different tabs, selecting the different tabs, and how to handle the drop-down values. So let us execute this script now. Right click on this particular script. So let me rename this particular script name also. I will say EasyRepro test. So that's it. Let me build this solution as well, because we have created a new class also. So now you can execute this particular script. So now it will click on Customer Service Hub. And here you can see that Customer Service Hub is displayed. Now it has to click on the accounts. After that, it has to click on the new button. Okay, it has clicked on the new, then it is entering the account name and phone number. And if you see here, it has entered the value in the lookup field and it will select that particular value. Then contact name is populated and it is switched to the details tab, and also it is selected the ownership as a public. So we have kept some think time, so it will wait for some time and it will exit the browser. So that's it guys, so it's very simple. So that's all I have in this session. If you have any queries, you can comment in the comment section. Please click on like and subscribe button. Stay tuned for many more tutorials on EasyRepro Automation Framework series.